Alright, hello. Trying this again. Sorry if the,
なんだろ
um,
う胸が
oh my god.
チクッと痛
I
い
feel like every time I try to record this, something adorable happens with whoever is on my main screen, and it distracts me. But anyways, hi, I'm Venus. I'm going to be recording a tutorial sort of thing for, Utano Prince Sama Shining Live. This is mainly for Pika since I know how difficult it can be
ちょっ
to
と
figure
どう
out
したの
everything that's going on in this
何か
game,
あった
and even though I'm sort of like a rhythm game veteran, it took me a little bit of time. So I'm just gonna try going through every little button here on the screen, see if I can try to clear up some things. If you have any questions about anything at all, I can try to make like a follow-up video or
僕
something.
の顔がどうかした
But I'm just gonna start explaining now and see how it goes. Anyways, as you can see here, this is your main screen. Kind of gives you a rundown of everything that's going on. You can see on the left, you've got 3 buttons on the top. These buttons are how you can interact with your main boy on the front screen. You can use this button to just get rid of everything that's going on around it, so you can just see your boy. You can use the second button to go into portrait mode, which I recommend doing because when you tap on a boy, you obviously get bond points through interacting with them. Now, if you have him up in this vertical mode, if you tap on him and talk to him,
香りがあるものってちょっと興味があるな
you'll see he got plus 7 points. When you're on the main screen, he'll just get plus 5 points. So that's a quick little tip when you're racking a bond with your boy.
スタイルと
I'll
体
just
力が
quickly
維持
tap
しなくちゃ
through.
仕事にならないよ
Just because he's very cute and I like talking to him.
ゼリーは嫌
I
いじゃ
feel
ないよ
like this whole
最初は食べ物が
tutorial
見
is
えな
going
か
to
っ
be
たけど
really disjointed, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm just trying to cover all the bases. Anyways, this last one that you can see here is to put it in camera mode, which you can use to take pictures of your idol, like through with selfies with yourself, or with backgrounds in real life. I don't usually use that very often, but sometimes the Utapri Twitter account will do a contest, or you take a picture with your boy in like a spring landscape, and
何かし
you'll
ない
get some merchandise or something. So I mean, play around with it if you want. Next, underneath that, you'll see this little banner, which is where it shows you what events are going on. Currently, there's this Natsuki Collection event, which is a brand new event that we've gotten. Don't quite understand how it works, but currently it seems to be playing songs to get event points and these little corsages, which you then exchange for different things. The important thing to know about the different types of events. The set list events, you just play, if you're in a regular set list, and your percentage of event points increases based on how far you get into the set list. So a quick tip for that is usually to use boosts and stuff on the last songs so that you get the most event points. I'll talk a little bit about that once we get into an actual live show. But it's pretty straightforward. And then the other type of event is a score match event, which you play against other players and try to get the best score. That one's a lot more relaxed since you just get passes every 8 hours or whatever, and you just play 3 songs. But I definitely recommend participating in events, even if you don't want the main card. It's pretty easy to get the main card if you play pretty consistently. but it can be hard to tier, so even if you just like aren't really feeling like, you know, even getting a card, you should still play in events just because you get lots of rewards like prisms and stuff, and prisms are very important to get in this game. The way you get prisms usually in events is by going up and gradually accumulating more event points, and also through your ranking, which I'll go in quickly here. You'll see I am in the rank 3000 to rank 7000, which means I'm going to get 60 prisms if I finish in that placement. I might place higher if I figure out how the heck this event collection game works, and then I might, you know, get more. So that's kind of the important stuff about events. Obviously, there's not a whole lot to say about them. They're pretty straightforward, but I mean, everyone's kind of figuring them out together, and I think the best thing you can do is just save up your LP and use it all in events so that you can get the most rewards possible. Anyways, underneath that you'll see just a text box where your idol can talk to you. Underneath that are 4 more icons. The first one is the present box. Now this is where all the rewards that you get for various, for playing songs, completing missions, stuff like that, they all accumulate here. Now, you could hit claim all and claim everything every time, but a better way to do it is to go tap on this thing in the right hand corner here, and it shows you a filter, and you can filter by whatever you're looking for: prisms, LP, photos. Other is where, like, special gems, these event corsages, stuff like that end up going. So I'm going to go into prisms and claim my prisms. So easy way to keep stuff tidy and organized, and also LP can be really like a pain to use like right when you get it, because then it feels like you're never gonna drain LP. With LP, you want to keep it in your present box and save it. Save it for events and stuff like that, because then when you're trying to get like an event card or get high up in the rankings, you can just keep tapping and gradually collecting this LP and playing with that stuff, so that you don't have to like stop, you don't have to like wait to grab more event points, and it's easier for you to rank. That's just something I've learned. You can see I have a lot of LP because I haven't really been ranking in events lately. Really need to get back into that. Anyways, next to that is kind of like in a messages tab. Shows you stuff like event information, new card sets that have come out, stuff like that. It will usually give you a notification if something has popped up in here, so you can check it out. Announcements is where they will announce stuff like the special songs lineup changing, or a new event, or maintenance. Other is usually where they fix issues and talk a little bit more about what's happening with maintenance. If there's a compensation issue, usually it will show up in your present box, and you can get some free prisms that way. That's usually a good thing to check out once in a while. So then moving on to the right side here, it shows you on the top right your level, and then it shows you your percentage to getting to the next level. With leveling up, the fastest way to level up is to play easy songs over and over. That obviously isn't the most convenient way to play. So, but if you're like, you're trying to get close to leveling up for the next event or something, play a bunch of easy songs. That's kind of the way to go. Next to that is your LP, which you get 1 LP every 3 minutes, and when you level up, your entire LP bar fills up to the point of overflowing. See, like if I leveled up now, I have 99 LP. I would still get plus 178 to that, so I would have 200 and like 70 some LP there. Next to that is your prism count. This little plus button would be to buy gems and stuff, which, you know, I don't really recommend. I shouldn't recommend, even though I'm a terrible whale. Oh, next that underneath that is your missions. I forgot to talk about underneath here these last two these last two icons. The one with this checklist is your missions. You can see the weekly missions, which you get by using LP, completing songs, and logging in a certain amount of times. Definitely recommend you try to play as much as you can every week, at least to get to clear all weekly missions, because you get 30 prisms from doing that, so that can definitely add up. Next that is your event missions, which for this one it's, you know, clearing songs with Natsuki and stuff like that. A good way for you to get some extra event points or something like that. Next that is your normal missions. These are usually by raising an idol to a certain level, raising your player level to a certain level, playing a certain amount of songs. You can see I've cleared a lot of them already. That's because I've been playing this for a long time, but you can definitely keep an eye on this when you're a new player especially. Check to see what you're kind of close to getting and see, kind of try to plan out what you can get so that you can use it to get more prisms and then scout more often. I wish I would stop saying that line because it makes me sad. Anyways, this little smiley face, that's where your friends list is. You can go here to check out your friend list, unfriend certain people if, like, you know, they haven't played for a long time. I usually just keep, like, you know, whatever people seem to have good cards, and keep them in otherwise. You can also search for users here. You can see here that's where your player name and your ID name is. So if somebody is looking for you, you can give them that number and they'll be able to find you a lot easier. Anyways, underneath the missions tab here on the right, you will see this kind of scrolling bar. Mainly it shows different places where you can scout for different items. It also shows different things that are available in the shop. When a new day starts, it will also show a blue box here, and it will show, I really should have recorded when it shows you this, but it will show you that you can watch a video advertisement. Definitely recommend doing that every day, because if you watch 3 ads, they're 30 seconds long, so if you waste 2 minutes of your day, you get 60 LP from that, and you also get 5 prisms, so that definitely adds up every day. If you do that for 10 days, you have 50 prisms. If you do that for 100 days, you have 500 prisms. That's already like 2 scouts almost. Anyways, so that kind of covers the main screen. Next to that is story. So you can see here, there's main story, side story, and event story. Event stories you unlock by playing through events and getting enough points to unlock those different stories. Side stories you get by unlocking progressing and leveling up a card that you have gotten, so you can unlock the side story. And the main story you get by leveling up in the game and playing certain songs. Pretty straightforward in how to get them, but I recommend going through them and listening to them pretty often, because every story that you play through gives you 5 prisms, so again that adds up pretty quickly. Next that is your idol tab here. So the idols shows you all of your boys, and it shows you the bond that you have with them. Bond, of course, we have discussed, is collected through interacting on the main screen and also through playing songs with a card of this boy on your team. Now you can see I is way higher than everybody else because I have a lot of cards of him and I interact with him a lot. So I'll just tap on him to kind of just show you.
呼んだ
So with each boy, you can kind of go in through his details. If you want to check out his profile, it's right up here in the top right. You can tap on that again to read a little bit about them. It also shows you the closet. This is where you outfits that you have unlocked through the different cards that you have collected. That's where these will show up. So you can see I have a whole lot for I. Not so many URs, but a whole lot of SRs anyways. You can also view posters of the different cards that you've collected. Wallpapers. These are there's like a variety of different wallpapers that you can purchase. I'll talk about where you can find these and how you can obtain them. I collect them because they're nice, but you really don't need to collect them if you don't want them. Anyways, we'll talk a little bit about that later. But then there's also the heart link, which is shows you your bond with each different idol here. So you get heart ranks through playing, like, you know, for example, if I want a heart rank with Reiji, I need to play songs with teams that have I and Reiji on them. Now, when you get heart points, I think really the only thing that you really get from that are some extra voice lines on the front main page. So it's kind of nice, but not super important. Anyways, back from that, you can also choose to set your favorite boy. So if you want to bond a certain boy up, you can definitely tap on that and just bring them up to your main page. You can tap on them, I believe it's tap on them 3 times every hour. If you try to tap them, you know, before that hour is up, you won't get anything for it. So if you're like really trying to get bond up to get some extra missions cleared, or to just because you want to see what the boy will say, you can check on it every hour. I know some people do that. I definitely don't care about that. Not as important to me. Anyways, next tab over is the live show. Now, in this category, this is where you kind of spend most of your time playing this game. You'll see here there are 2 different tabs you can go through. Your normal shows all the songs that you unlock through progressing through the story. You can play kind of whatever you want. I have a lot of songs I haven't played through on Pro. I'm just showing it on Pro. You can see on the bottom here it shows you can select easy, normal, hard, or Pro. You also see there's this song targets button. If you tap on that, it will show you it has certain goals you can reach for score, for getting a max combo, and for completing a song a certain amount of times. I have played Triangle Beat a lot on Pro, so you can see I have gotten the high score, I have completed a full combo, and I've also played it over 10 times, which gives me those prisms. So, you know, if you're looking to grind for prisms, that's a good way to do it, is by playing through each song 10 times, because whether you're on easy, medium, hard, or pro, you'll get that 4 prisms just for playing the song 10 times. It's only 1 each, but it definitely adds up. Anyways, next, underneath that, it shows you the rankings, which is the rankings worldwide for how many people have played this game, what their high score is. Not really important to look at that, but it's nice to look at if you want to check it out. Rewards shows you what you normally will get from playing this song. So you can see you can get EXP bubbles, skill bubbles, or special gems. We'll talk a little bit about each of those and what they do a little bit later. And then the song info shows you who sings in the song, and a little information about the lyrics and who composed the song. The important thing to know about this is you want to pay attention to the singer. because that can help you form teams. If you want to get a really good score on Triangle Beat, for example, you want a team made up of Eyes, Natsukis, and Shows, because you will get a singer bonus from that. It's not super important, but, you know, for events, like, for example, this Natsuki event, I pay attention to this because it lets me know that I need to put a lot of Natsukis on my team, and it also means that I need to play a lot of songs with Natsuki in them so I can get those extra missions cleared. Stuff like that. I'll just back out of this. Oh, I forgot to explain. Shit, I'm really bad at this. And now I have to wait for it to load. But, okay, so the other important tab here is the campaign songs. The campaign songs are not super important, but this is where songs, limited edition songs will show up every so often. Before they had fiction and non-fiction, which you can only play for like 30 days. Now they have Setsu Getsuga, which they play, which you can play for 30 days. You can see I've played it quite a lot because I really like watching the video and because it's a nice song to grind for this event. So through these, you don't get prisms, but you do get special gems through playing them. So if you're looking to level up cards, that's a good way to get it. The other thing that you get is these 3 songs at the bottom, which are 3 or 2, so it really kind of depends. Now, these songs, these kind of rotate out every day or so, and you can only play them 3 times, but they give you extra rewards. They're bonus songs. You can see at the top above the album art, it says gem bonus. There's also EXP bonus and bond bonus. Now, gem bonus gives you only gems, and it gives you a higher chance of getting those big special gems with the 2 little stars inside them. Like here, if I show you in the rewards, there's the small moon, the medium moon, the large moon, and the premium moon with the 2 little sparkles inside it. It can also give you these microphones, which you can use to level up skills of certain cards. So you definitely want to play those. When you play those songs, when you play bonus songs, I recommend you play on the highest difficulty that you can manage. And then when you get into this kind of main screen, I would definitely recommend boosting the song. This uses LP. You can see if I have it off, it only use 25 LP to play the song. But if I keep it on, if I boost to 3, it means I've used 75 LP to play the song once. Now you get the same amount of experience and rewards as if you would play this song 3 times, but it increases your chances of getting getting a lot of special gems and stuff. So if you want to get a lot of rewards, since you can only play these songs 3 times, if you boost them, it's like you've played the song 9 times and you get a lot more rewards through that. Now, EXP bonus means you can get more EXP orbs, which you use to level up your cards, and bond bonus means that you get more bond for playing for the cards that you have on your team. So for bond bonus, what I recommend is you make a team solely with a card of the boy that you like the most and you want to get the most bond for, and you just play with that team, and then you get a whole bunch of bond. That kind of explains all the important stuff. Did forget to mention that when you go into here, you do get to choose a friend with a skill to help you out. You can see here that this is a dance song, so I want to use a dance partner, and it just kind of shows you here at the bottom what kind of partner you have. and then it would bring you up to this team selection screen. It will also create a unit for you through the auto unit function. This is good when you're starting out. When you get a lot of cards, it might be a little bit less optimal, because it sometimes will put in cards of like off-color cards and try to squeeze them into a team. That's not really worth it for your score, because you this skill boost, these charm plus 63% and dance plus 63%, only correspond to the cards that are of that color. So if you have, for this blue team, if you had a red card in there, would not help you. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. You can also see here, there's on the bottom left, there is an auto. You can use auto to play a song like without playing it yourself. It will run through the song yourself, and it will still give you points and stuff like that, but instead of getting you won't get a combo, and all of your notes will be good instead of great and perfect. This is good if you don't have a lot of time, but you still want to play in an event. Like if you're at work or something, you can kind of just put it on auto, let it play through a song while you're not paying attention to it. Or if like, hey, you may wake up in the middle of the night, but hey, you got some LP and you need to use it up, you can use auto to play it instead of trying to like fumble through a song at 1 in the morning. So I don't use auto very often, but it is useful when you're playing through events and stuff. I think I kind of explained everything there. With team building, it's a little hard to explain everything that goes into it, but kind of just pay attention to what type of song you're playing, like dance songs. Try to find a center that has a dance skill and put it in the middle. Fill up your team with all cards of the same color. And when you're playing events, make sure that you use cards that are of the corresponding boy that is kind of like the main character for the event. That's kind of all the advice I have. There's a really good Utapri YouTuber who has already made a team building guide. I will probably link it down in the description so you can give it a check out. See if that helps you more than my rambling does. But that kind of covers all the important stuff. Sorry, I'm just shifting around. Before we get into probably what kind of seems like the most impossible stuff to understand, which is the lesson tab. Photo tab, you can see if you just tap in here, this is where the gacha part comes in. So you can see here you gotta pull. These are different. Up at the top, it will show you different boxes that you can pull from, and kind of which characters are featured. You can tap down in the bottom right available photos to see which photos are available. Anyways, it's pretty straightforward. The only thing I would definitely recommend to you is to always go for the 311 shot pull, because you get 1 free card, and it also means you get 1 SR or higher for every pull that you get. Solo YOLOs are not recommended in any gacha game, and it's just not worth the risk or your money. Anyways, what you can also see is this little bar that's filling up with little red circles. That's for every person you scout from this box. So once you've scouted 10 cards from this box, you get a little blue pass. You can use those passes to do this bonus photo shoot. When you get 5 tickets, you can pull in here and you get 1 card, either an SR or a UR, and you have a way higher chance of getting a UR than you do from just a regular pull, and it's definitely guaranteed to give you a pretty decent card. So keep an eye on that and use it as often as possible. You can also see here there's these SR Plus and UR tickets. These you can usually just get from like special packs in the shop. They're like, you know, great when you have them, but usually you have to pay cash for them, so you usually don't get them very often. But, you know, if you have them, use them. There's not a whole lot to say about that. But now we can focus on the lesson aspect of this game. Lessons are how you form your teams and how you level up your cards. It's really important for getting good scores in this game, but it can be really complicated to understand. So next up here you have your edit unit. You have 11 different teams where you can form different teams. I would recommend forming at least one team for each color. You can also create a team like all healers or all perfect blockers. That can definitely help you out. Next to that, underneath that is the lesson tab. Now if you tap on this, in lessons it will show you a list of all of the different characters you have, and so if you select one, the way you will level up your cards is through different orbs. You can use these EXP orbs, blue ones. They help level up your the level of your card. Skill ones level up the skill of your card. So this one is a healing card, and it would, instead of just giving me 2 opportunities to heal, it could give me 12 opportunities to heal. Sub skills are for when you we'll get into that, but special practice is when you practice 2 cards together. You can unlock a sub skill, which is usually plus a certain amount of score when you complete a song with a full combo or with a certain amount of health left over. Those yellow bubbles are to level up your sub skill. Now you can also use regular R cards to try to level up your cards. That's great. Do it if you want. I would recommend, though, keeping your R cards around until you have made sure that you have special practice them up to the max. We'll talk a little bit about that more when we get into special practice, which I think is the next thing over. Now, special lesson is where you would see if I scout. You can see I have scouted a lot, and I have duplicates of cards. Now, certain cards, like this one, you want to level them up. You want to practice 5 cards together. Like, you want your main card, and then you want to practice 4 more cards into it. This will increase the max level. It will go up 2. So you can see right now this card's max level is 50, but if I add this card to it, its max level will become 55. I will also get 10 gems from that. And also, if I could get this card up to a max rank, when you do that and you practice up to the max level, then you get 20 prisms from doing that, which is not a small amount, and definitely is worth it in the long run. So, especially with R's, practice them together so that you can get them up to their max level, and then when you do that, you can sell them off after that, or use them for practice or whatever you want, and you get 20 prisms out of that. So it's definitely worth it to fuse all your copies of your cards together instead of just tossing them away because you think you don't need rares anymore, you have better cards, or something like that. That's kind of the important thing to know about special practice. Underneath that is moments. Now, moments are also very important. Moments shows you all your different cards that you have. They kind of have a little chart to go through. Now I'll just tap on this one because it kind of has the most chart for me to go through. Now you see here there's this whole big pathway that you kind of like unlock by using these little gems that I've talked about before. So you need a certain amount of gems to unlock different steps on this pathway. For each step you unlock, you get stat boosts. You see it plus 30, gives you plus 30 to your stat, to your dance, vocal, and charm, and it also unlocks stories, which gives you more prisms, which is definitely important. It unlocks outfits, which you put on your character on the main screen. It unlocks voice clips, which they will say to you on the main screen. And it unlocks special shots, which change the pose that your character is in, and makes it look a little bit prettier. You can see here, I also, since I practiced them together, it unlocks farther into the path. Mainly, usually when you had like if you only had one copy of this You Are Natsuki, it would end right here at this last voice clip. But since I have maxed it out, it has given me more stat boosts, and also gives me the sub skill. Currently, so you can see here, it would have required a whole schwack load of these blue moon gems, and also would have required a yellow microphone for Natsuki. And but through that, I unlock a sub skill, which you see here is plus 13,000 score when I clear a song with 60% stamina. And then I increased it further, and it has increased the effectiveness of the leader skill up to 63% instead of 60%. So you definitely want to do that as often as possible to increase the effectiveness of your cards, to unlock more outfits for your characters, and also to unlock stories so you can get more prisms. I know that sub-skills can be kind of complicated to understand. I would usually just recommend unlocking them on really good SR cards or UR cards. Otherwise, like, save your gems. Don't unlock them on R cards. It's kind of not really going to end up being worth it. I hope that kind of explains how that goes. I would just definitely recommend coming in here, checking out your cards, making sure every card has been unlocked as much as it can, so that you can get, the most use out of it. Underneath that is Crown Challenge. Now, I haven't Crown Challenged any cards yet, but when you have used a special lesson and fused 5 different cards together, so your card is at max level, you can use a Crown Challenge to increase the level of it a little bit further. Now, Crown Challenges use what we call medals. You can see those little silver and gold medals that we have been getting in events and stuff like that. You can use those in the medal shop to either you can either use them in this Crown Challenge to level up your cards further. You can use them in the medal shop to unlock more of those like premium gems, so you can unlock more of the moments, or you can use them to unlock backgrounds for your cosmetic stuff. Since I'm a completionist, I've been using them to unlock backgrounds. You don't have to do that. I would say they're probably more worthwhile being used to increase the level of like really good cards or something like that. Or maybe you just want to save up medals in case we end up being able to use medals for like something really good, like buying more cards or something. So just keep that in mind. You can see the medal exchange thing here. You can exchange the photos you currently have for medals. So once you have leveled up like a rare card and you don't need it anymore, you could, if you don't want to like use it as practice fodder, you can select it here and like exchange it for silver medals. Rare cards give you silver medals, SR cards give you gold medals, UR cards give you premium medals. Usually I end up just discarding my rares, and for some rare cases my SRs if I really don't need them anymore. But you can exchange those for medals, and then in the medal shop you can see here eventually you can, if you get 30 silver medals, you can get 3 gold medals, and then once you have 5 gold medals, you can get a premium medal, and then the premium medals can be used to unlock these different wallpapers. So it's worth checking out if you like pretty stuff and you want to make sure that your pretty boy can be in a pretty setting. Otherwise, it's kind of just a little extra thing to kind of just increase the level of your boys a little bit better. I don't know if there's anything else I can really talk about here. The other tab is pretty straightforward, but it mainly gives you game settings, an album for you to look through all your cards and stuff like that. But in player details, you can go in here and you can change the sticker that you have. You can write a quote. You can also see your frequent performers. You can just see cool stuff like that. Edit your name, stuff like that. I really don't know what else I can explain through this. I don't know if there's anything I missed, and I know this is kind of scattered and all over the place, but I'm hoping it did help a little bit. Let me know if there's anything I can cover in more detail. But hopefully this does kind of give you a kind of basic rundown of all the things that are going on in this game. Gives you a couple tips for moving forward in the future, since you kind of want to optimize how you play in events and stuff, and kind of just stops you from making like rookie mistakes like I did, which can happen a lot with these rhythm games. And I guess just hopefully it helps you enjoy your best boy to the fullest. And that's it. Thanks.